Living in Denmark, 2011, with BCG, was doing some retail consulting, thinking about e-commerce because in Europe it was clearly 5 years ahead of Australia. It was clear that there was a wave that was about to hit Australia. And I just, by chance, happened to become connected with some venture capitalists, some German venture capitalists. And they said, you know what, we fund a lot of e-commerce businesses in Europe. We think Australia is not so different. If you want to go back there and start an e-commerce business, we'll give you the money for it. At the time, I'd just gotten into a couple of MBA programs in the States. I was really excited about doing them. I wasn't thinking about coming back to Australia. I definitely wasn't thinking about starting an e-commerce company, let alone in fashion. I'm clearly not from a fashion background. And
we're both doing that.
I mean, you've got invisible socks. It's very fashionable. Must be a Melbourne thing.
I did it for you. I was nervous.
So yeah, and I think I just thought to myself, what do I want to do more when I wake up in the morning? You know, do I want to try and build a company and a brand that could ultimately touch millions of people and add something good to their lives? Or do I want to go and study for a couple of years? And I thought, yeah, I want to give this a shot.
And is that your message? When opportunity stares you in the face, just go for it?
I think my message is sometimes opportunities come by at the wrong time. That was the wrong time for me. Like, I really was set on the MBA. I wanted to do it. I'd left Sydney 6 months before. I'd broken up with my girlfriend of 3 years, being like, I'm moving to Europe. And then I came back 6 months later, and she was like, what, WTF, mate? It really wasn't a good time. But, you know, we sometimes say to ourselves, oh, another opportunity will come along. That's not always true. So if there's a good one in front of you, like, take it by its horns.
Absolutely.
The comment I would make about innovation is there's a myth about innovation, and that myth is that to do something innovative is to do something first.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. I think to do something innovative is to do something best. And I think there's a really, really big difference. We weren't the first online fashion retailer in Australia, but we were the first to persist to the point that we figured out how to make the model work at scale.
Yeah.
So what's ahead in innovation is really about understanding what do customers want and how we serve those customers. 3 big trends. Personalization is what we're in right now. The next one's going to be contextualization. So we'll be going to customers' context, like their bedroom with their mirror, for example, to help them shop.
Context meaning?
Where they are.
All the data points that give context to a circumstance.
It's more so where are you when you're thinking about a fashion problem? You wake up in the morning, what should I wear today? You're with your friends, what are we going to wear to this event? You're at lunchtime thinking to yourself, I need to buy something for tomorrow. We'll be coming to those contexts. The third trend is probably real-time production. So 3D printing of your next Nike shoes, basically.
Yeah. How have you personally evolved your leadership skills?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I've done a lot of learning on the job. When I was at BCG, I managed teams up to like 3 or 4 people. At The Iconic, within 6 months, we're at 200. Within a year, we're at 300. Today, we're at nearly 700 people. There's no place to hide as a person when you're in a leadership position of that kind of growth rate.
Yeah.
You know, I can't pretend who I am because you're thrown in the situation that the real you comes out. I've learned a lot about leadership. One lesson I would share is that the main ingredient of a great organization is, as Jim Collins would say, who's on the bus. It's who do you recruit, who do you develop, who do you keep? And what I've learned from my experience is that you hire for values over skills.
Yeah.
Like the number of times we've hired someone because they look brilliant on paper, they're like the best UX leader in Australia, and then we put them into the team and they're an absolute asshole. You know, they're protecting their turf, they're trying to control, they're dogmatic, and they just weren't suited to a high growth environment. So we have a no wanker policy.
Yeah.
You know, we hire primarily for values. We actually don't mind if you don't have the exact skill set. We're looking for strengths, capabilities, values, and then we put you into environments where you develop those skills.
Through that experience, you have come to care passionately about the future of work. Do you think something is a little broken when it comes to the planning of our careers?
I think there's an opportunity. There's a change coming and there's an opportunity. So to just think about work for a second, the work we do today determines what the world will look like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? We could probably all agree that we're all building things that determines what the future world looks like. The work we do today is determined by how we organize work. It's by what we celebrate, what we put funding into, who makes decisions over what a goal or a purpose is, who controls talent. The way we organize work is about to go through an immense change, an enormous change. We've got trends like the rise of contingent work. We have decentralization of power with the blockchain. We have the millennial push for more purpose over profit. We have a lot changing about the way work operates. And so I think there's an opportunity to influence the design of the systems of work to therefore influence the design of the future. And it's a little bit abstract, but I also think it's achievable. Hatch is a technology company, it's a marketplace that will hopefully change how the next generation think about work. And just imagine for a second that you're back at university. I don't think too many people look like they're still at university, maybe Jack. And when you're at, it was a compliment. You're from Melbourne, I'm trying to bridge the divide. So remember when you're at university, you just don't know what to do when you finish. It's a huge anxiety. What should I do when I finish studying? And often that decision is governed by social currencies or social incentives. I'm going to do what makes my parents happy, or what is a respectable job, or what makes lots of money. What Hatch does is it gives university students professional work experience while they're still studying, so that they can make career decisions based on real life experience rather than just the expectations that are layered upon them. In turn, what it does for organizations is it totally rethinks how companies engage with entry-level talent. Instead of these like archaic grad programs and intern programs, it creates a contingent or an agile workforce of super talented young people who can stream through an organization bringing fresh thinking and fresh skills on a regular basis. And that's Hatch.